Spleen patterns. The spleen and stomach are in an interior-exterior relationship and are both located in the middle burner. The main function of the spleen and stomach is to digest and absorb food and to distribute the qi throughout the body. In this process, the spleen is primarily responsible for the ascending function, while the stomach is responsible for the descending function. The spleen tends to manifest deficiency syndromes more often. Diseases of the spleen include indigestion and poor appetite, abdominal distension. The stomach tends to present symptoms such as epigastric pain, vomiting, belching, and reflux. The characteristic symptoms of spleen patterns are digestive symptoms. The following symptoms mainly appear: appetite issues, tiredness, digestive disorders, dull yellow sallow complexion, epigastric, SP, ST, CF, hypochondriac liver, distension, empty full pattern of spleen, empty, qi deficiency, yang deficiency, qi sinking, bleeding full, dampness. Spleen patterns are fundamentally centered around deficiency pathology. Although cold damp invading spleen is classified as an excess pattern, it is basically spleen yang deficiency or spleen qi deficiency. For deficiency, there is first qi deficiency, and qi deficiency progresses to yang deficiency. Qi sinking or spleen yang progresses to cold damp. Qi deficiency turns into yang deficiency, coldness, turns into cold damp invading spleen, diarrhea. Qi deficiency turns into spleen qi sinking, organ prolapse. Qi deficiency turns into spleen, failing to contain blood, bleeding, turns into blood deficiency. The pattern where qi deficiency leads to an inability to control blood, causing bleeding, is called spleen failing to contain blood. Spleen blood deficiency generally does not exist in spleen patterns. Instead, spleen failing to contain blood, which is a bleeding pattern, can be considered as spleen blood deficiency pattern. Stomach patterns: full pattern, food retention, phlegm heat, cold fluid retention, heat, empty pattern, yin deficiency. The excess patterns of the spleen are mainly represented by the stomach. The basic excess patterns of the stomach are the formation of phlegm due to food retention, irregular wrong diet. Food retention mostly progresses to heat patterns, but it can also lead to cold patterns. These patterns are food retention in the stomach, damp heat in the spleen and stomach, and cold fluid retention in the stomach. These three patterns resulting from food stagnation and phlegm, all present with nausea, vomiting, and upper abdominal pain. Only the cold and heat signs differ here. In cold fluid retention in the stomach, there is a feeling of cold, preference for warmth, diarrhea, etc. While in the heat pattern, damp heat in the spleen and stomach, there is a rapid pulse, sensation of heat, thirst, etc. Next, there are stomach fire and stomach yin deficiency, both characterized by a burning pain in the upper abdomen, such as gastric ulcers. This can be chronic. However, stomach fire is an excess heat pattern, a pattern of constant hunger despite eating, dry mouth, and drinking a lot of water, while stomach yin deficiency is a deficiency pattern, hungry but no particular appetite, dry mouth, but not gulping down water. The stomach is hungry, but when actually faced with food, one cannot eat much. In contrast, with stomach heat, there is hunger, good appetite, and no weight gain. More importantly, if there is a gastric ulcer causing a sore and painful sensation, and it presents as a yin deficiency pattern, afternoon fever, thirst, heat in the palms and soles, cold sweat, dry stools, it becomes stomach yin deficiency. Then, are there no spleen qi deficiency patterns when there is a gastric ulcer? Of course there are many. In that case, it often presents as spleen qi deficiency with stomach heat symptoms. You will see many such patients in practice. Combined patterns related to spleen: spleen and liver blood deficiency, spleen lung qi deficiency, liver spleen disharmony, liver stomach disharmony. Spleen lung qi deficiency is a mixed pathology of spleen qi deficiency and lung qi deficiency, referring to overall qi deficiency as it involves the qi of the grain and the qi of the heavens. Liver spleen disharmony is a mixed pathology of liver qi stagnation and spleen qi deficiency. Liver-stomach disharmony is a mixed pathology of liver qi stagnation and stomach excess, distension and pain in the epigastrium and hypochondrium, fullness in epigastrium, sour regurgitation, mainly stomach heat. It is a pattern that appears primarily with coastal pain, emotional issues, etc., when there are conditions like gastric ulcers. There is also liver invading the stomach, which similarly is a pattern that appears with gastric hyperacidity, upper abdominal pain, etc., due to stress. Spleen and liver blood deficiency is spleen blood deficiency.